Hi, Nick Collier here, and this is my shop. Come join me. We'll have some fun.
Okay, campers, we've got another project online here. This is going to be a pretty short one, I believe. I've said that before, but I think it's going to be pretty short. I don't know, 3-4 months ago, I picked up a leather cutter, and I'm going to give you a picture of that right now. And you know, it was in a garage sale. It was buried underneath a couple of other things that had been there forever, rat infested. You know, it was pretty rank, but I knew what it was, and I had purchased a couple of those probably about a year ago, and repaired them and sold them on eBay. So when I saw it, I was like, oh, that's it. You know, I'm going to grab that sucker. And I got it for a really great price. And I took it apart and got it functioning. I mean, it was totally frozen up. Got it functioning and sold it on eBay. Put it in a box, shipped it to the guy, and the guy sends me a note and says, well, it turns out that part of it broke in shipment. And I said, damn. Well, I said, go ahead and send it back, and I'll fix it. So that's what we're gonna do today. So let's go down and have a look at that, and you know, say hi to my new member of our little workforce here. This member chases the rats and mice. Yeah, she's a good cat too. All right, so we're gonna face down here. And we're gonna look at that little casting right there. And you can kind of see it's broken. Damn. But it's cast iron, so we're going to braise it back together. But I want to get this sucker back together so that it's nice and solid and all the lines are smooth. So first thing we have to do is take it over to the sandblaster and get rid of all this paint. Oh, by the way, there's one more little chunk here. And we're going to go over to the sandblaster. Okay, so we're all sandblasted and cleaned up pretty well. And our brakes are nice and clean. I mean, there's no chips, there's no nothing. So I think what we can do is just clamp it down and get it solid. And we're going to do that by putting a couple of chips of metal in here. Something like that. Bring a couple of simple C-clamps in. There we go. And we're not clamping hard. Yeah, let's get it in a little further. Whoops, a little bit more. That's good and solid. We'll get this one in right up to the crack, or to the brake, and then clamp that in place. Oh, I see. We got just a little bit of a rocking motion on that. Probably maybe a bad casting. No, looks pretty good. All right. Okay, that's got to fit just right. Looks like it's sitting up just a little bit. I'm thinking maybe there's some kind of contamination on this piece of metal here. Certainly not feeling anything. Maybe here. Oh yeah. We're going to hit that with a file just a little bit. That ought to help. Yeah, that's better. It's still got a bit of a rocking motion to it though. You can see it. So I think what I'm going to do is slide some shims underneath that just to get it sitting right. Alright, we're going to take ourselves an old crapped out feeler gauge here and slide in. Well, let's start with the thickest. And it looks like we got to go thicker. So we're going to double up. That's too thick. Somewhere about halfway. 30 and 15. Let's do 20 and 15. That looks pretty good. You can barely see the crack. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to come in and nip that right in that corner there. Can you see that? No, you can't. Let's move you over here a bit. We're going to nip that right in the corner there, just a little bit. And then we're going to nip it here a little bit, maybe down below here. And kind of, in a sense, tack it with bronze. And then we'll come in and grind the rest of the cracks and get those all prepped. And then come in and braise it. So let me get everything all set up. And, oh, well, you didn't see it, did you? We'll get everything all set up and okay, so we're just going to nip that little edge right there and bring that into play. All right, that's enough to get us a couple of little tacks right in there. All right, we're just going to heat things up a little bit. Well, damn, we opened up a little bit in there, but I think it's going to be okay. And while it was still warm, I just cramped down on it a little bit without the feeler gauges in there, and it closed that gap back up. So that's a good start. We'll let that cool off a bit, and we'll come back in and get that chip in place, and we'll go from there. Maybe you can see it. There's that little outline of that triangular chip. We're going to come in and braise it right there. Hopefully everything's going to stay in place. And if not, while it's still hot, we can move that brass around just a little bit. Looks pretty good. Get rid of that little dingle ball there. Yeah, I think that's going to hold it in place. Looks like we got one more little crack right there. So we'll have to repair that. We're going to let this just chill out and cool on its own. And then once we get it cool, we're going to come in and cut V's down every one of those cracks and open it up a little bit just so we can get some braise in there. Okay, now it's time to just put a little V in each one of these cracks, and then bring it back, oh, I don't know, not even a 1/4 inch, a little over 1/8 of an inch on either side, just to get some nice clean metal to work with. And I'm going to put some headphones on. Okay, let's weld that up, or braise it up. Now, the secret to any good brazing job is clean metal. And, you know, not only clean in the groove, but clean beyond the groove. Now, if this was structural, I would go in behind it and also V the back and weld the back too. But this is not structural. This literally just is it's a cap to keep your fingers out of the gears. So we don't have to get super strong here. The other part of clean metal is clean brazing rod. And the clean brazing rod, I go back in with steel wool or Scotch-Brite and clean my rod before I start welding. Okay, preheat the hell out of this thing. Okay, that's pretty much got it. I remember seeing another crack somewhere, but I can't seem to find it now. Where in the hell did it go? Oh, there it is. Right there. We're going to let this cool down and see if that crack is going to be a problem. We'll be back. Okay, everything looked like it came out pretty nicely. So now it's time to start grinding. We're going to use a different bit. Oops, not that one. This one. Well, the flux doesn't want to break off or doesn't want to grind down, so, and I know that as soon as you grab it and twist it a little bit, it'll break off. So I'm just coming in and, I mean, it literally turns to glass. That's pretty good. Got a little bit over here. Alright, looks pretty good. Maybe a little bit more right there. Alright, but that's pretty good. Now we're going to come in with an engraver, and it's got a reasonably dull bit on it, and we're just going to kind of texture this a little bit. All right, that looks pretty good. Let's warm it up and throw a little paint on it. And, well, you know, I noticed that there's one little crack here that I missed. And rather than do anything with welding, because we already know this thing is strong, I dropped it. We're going to go in with just a little bit of Bondo. There's a little dot right there too. Going to go in with just a little bit of Bondo. And okay, when I say a little bit of Bondo, that's pretty much what I'm going to do here. It's like, I don't even think we need this much. Now we're going to have to work fast, because once that gets mixed, it's going to start setting up pretty quick. All right, where's our gaps here? Finding them. What the hell happened? Oh, there we go. That looks pretty good. All right, we'll let the Bondo set up, and we'll sand it down a little bit and get us some paint on this. Then we're done. Okay, we're gonna do a quick little paint job here and then let it sit for, oh, maybe till this afternoon. And this thing will be ready to rip. There's that little crack I couldn't find earlier. But I don't think it's going to hurt anything. Remember, this is just a cover so you don't get your fingers caught up in the gears. I think that's pretty much going to give us what we want. We'll let that set up and get it in a box and get it back to them. Well, that was a nice little shorty, and it all worked out fine. No fuck ups. Hey, not too bad. Hey, this is Nick Collier checking out.